Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be looking at Kirby and the Forgotten Land, the new demo that just came out on Nintendo Switch, which by the way is free, and if you haven't played it, you should check it out now. These were my opinions and overall thoughts about the whole gameplay experience. I'm going to be talking about my favorite parts about this game, the pros and cons, some abilities, and I'm going to be talking about the graphics, audio, all that stuff. So, let's get into it. My brother and I used to play every single Kirby game as soon as it came out. For as long as I can remember, we'd get it day one and we beat it that day, or the next day, give or take. The fact that this game's coming out, new gameplay style, new Kirby game, it's going to be amazing, and I'm super excited. I put in my pre-order for March 25th. Now, let's jump into the game. There's a difficulty option right away. I did it hard, of course, because I'm a real man. I played through this demo twice. First time I played with my epic gamer girlfriend, and the second time I just played by myself. And I looked at the evolved power-ups, and that was a blast. The game starts with a cutscene, with a big void opening in the clouds, like another game you might know. Kirby and Bandana D get sucked up into the void, and they wake up on a beach. And that's how it starts. The lore. Right away you see how open the world is when you're walking around, with neat visual details like camera blur to show depth, fog that makes it seem dark and mysterious, and a crab on the beach. As you progress through the game, you collect star pieces just by running into stuff and stepping on glowing spots on the ground. Let's talk about the graphics. Though they're impressive, I'd like to see 60 frames instead of the locked 30 frames. Every playable stage is massive and it seems so big, even though it's very linear. And that's great. It's perfect for a 3D Kirby game. The flowers, plants, and trees all look very good for the playful style this game is trying to pull off. I played this a little bit on handheld on my Switch OLED. As you can expect, the colors popped. It was a crazy, colorful Kirby adventure. Now what about the gameplay? With side missions throughout the whole stage, and hopefully all of the other stages, it was a breeze to play through. The game tests you with things like saving Waddle Dees, make 5 tulips bloom, and those little toy collectibles. Things that will make players want to come back to a level if they missed anything and they're going for 100%. Just running around and jumping and sucking as Kirby is so fun and satisfying, but I'll come back to that. I'll quickly name off some pros and cons that I noticed in the demo. First, let's talk pros. The walking motion. Kirby has a jiggly run, kind of like he did in Smash Ultimate. Just compare his run to Smash Wii U to Smash Ultimate. See how much more jiggly he is? In Smash Ultimate, it's way more jiggly. In this game, he has a more jiggly run. Also, look how his body slightly tilts when he's moving side to side. I know it's a small thing, but it's that kind of detail that really stands out to me. Look how snappy his jump is. It's quick enough to get up and just enough gravity and speed to get him down. Now, the power-ups themselves is a whole other beast, and they're amazing, but I'll get back to that later. The music is amazing. The orchestra with the strings, with that little tone of rock, it's a perfect blend, perfect Kirby. It nails the cute and quirky music, with the flutes, the oboes, the strings, and it gets you hyped with the rock music with the guitar, the bass, and the drums. Just listen. Something else I noticed was that you're able to slightly move the camera with the right stick. That's amazing if you want to find collectibles. It'll help you 100% the game. I love how the last stage of the demo was a boss battle. It truly shows how intense these games can get, and those enemy rushes are a neat addition to the level. They get your heart pumping and make you feel like that last power-up wasn't for nothing. Amiibo support! Amiibo support! Let's go! Yes, Amiibo is supported in this game. I'm not sure what it'll unlock, but it's an amazing addition and I'm glad to see Nintendo still supports them. Also, if you ended up playing through the demo, it'll give you some codes near the end of the first and second playthrough that you can unlock with the Waddle Dees. I'm not sure what it'll do, but I guess it's good to have. Something else that's cool is that you can dodge and the camera goes in slow motion if you almost get smoked. You can also slide, which I didn't even realize you can do until I played through the second time. And of course, Meta Knight and King Dedede are back. King Dedede looks like he was ripped straight out from Kirby 64. I would love to see different playable characters like these two. I'd love to see them add as many characters as they did in Kirby Star Allies, but that's probably unrealistic. But if they did add those characters to this game, it would remind me a lot of that canceled GameCube game. Now let's go over some cons. This is my least favorite part of a Kirby game, but they're there. We gotta talk about them, so let's do it. I'll never expect anything on Switch to have award-winning graphics. These graphics look amazing for a Kirby game though. There is some frame rate issues, some frame dips when there's a lot going on. Oh, and low frame rate models, like here when I load it into a new part of the game. Game developers cut down the frame rates for objects in the background so it doesn't use as much of the console's power. Just look at games like Pokemon Legends. One odd decision I think they made was having the gameplay in 30 frames per second and the menu and loading screens in 60 frames per second. I think if the gameplay is 30 frames per second, the whole game should just be capped at 30 frames. which makes sense to me. They also did this in Kirby Star Allies, and I never understood or got used to it. When I booted up the game, the first thing I noticed was that the cutscenes didn't have any sound effects. And that's fine, I guess we don't need sound effects, but it was just, like, why? Why not have sound effects? Now let's look at some power-ups. The power-ups are a key part of Kirby games, so let's just go through them individually like we've seen in the demo. There's a sword power-up. By pressing B, you go through a combo of different slashes and stabs. Hold down the B button to charge and do a spin move, and it hits enemies several times in a row. Jump and press B, and you spin in the air and slice downwards multiple times. This new Kirby game has also invented evolved power-ups, so let's talk about those as well. With the evolved sword ability, you have a spike and nice hair. Just like the previous sword abilities, spam the B button and slice through enemies. It's a bit slower, but it's much more powerful. You can still jump and slash downwards, it's just slower. In the middle of a B spamming combo, you can hold the B button and charge in the middle of the chain attacks. Depending on how long you hold the B button, the harder your sword strikes the ground. With the bomb ability, you throw bombs with the B button, and that's about it. Oh, and you get a sweet birthday hat. With the evolved bomb ability, you can link together your bombs. The more bombs you link up, the bigger the explosion is. After they explode, it causes a chain tornado attack to finish off any fox that you left off. You can also kick your bombs around. At the end of the demo, you also see a sneak peek to the next bomb ability, which is called the remote bomb. I'm assuming you can just throw them out and detonate it with the remote. With the normal cutter, you throw around boomerang blades with the B button. And when you hold the B button, you're able to keep the blade out and spin it in the air, and the longer they charge up, the more powerful they are. With the evolved cutter ability, it's the exact same thing, except there's two. And when you're in close combat with a no-good buddy, you can just melee them with the blades. Oh, and you also get some epic lawn maintenance abilities. With the ice ability, you breathe ice. And I think that's pretty cool. While running and pressing B, you can also go into Super Saiyan Ice Boy and have the ice swarming around, which leaves a trail of ice and it hits any opponents in your way. With the evolved ice ability, you can create snowmen and hit them into your target. You can also skate and spin jump. Now that we've gone through all the power-up abilities, let's dive into something new for Kirby games. This is called Mouthful Mode. Let me just start off by saying in Mouthful Mode, this looks painful. Like, I feel bad for Kirby. Anyway, with all your Mouthful Mode abilities, you still have your power-up hat on that indicates what power-up you have, which I think is pretty neat. With the car, you can crash your way through objects and enemies. With the A button, you can jump. Yeah, the car jumps. It jumps! With the vending machine, you can walk around as a big rectangular prism. Or cube thing, whatever. The vending machine launches up to 99 soda cans to break metal boxes and enemy soul. By holding or tapping B, Kirby will just spew aluminum everywhere. You can also recollect some of the cans that you just launched off, so don't litter, kids. With the cone, you slam down on cracks in the ground and water pipes to open up new areas, explore, and find treasures. Once again, it looks painful. There's also a mouthful dome that they added that was actually never shown off before. We also saw some new mouthful modes briefly in the end video. You can suck a barrel and roll and most likely jump around obstacles. And there's also a roller coaster. It'll be interesting to see more uses of the mouthful mode in this game when it comes out. There's so much more of this game to uncover, and I can't wait to play it on March 25th. Let me know in the comments if you've pre-ordered this game or if you've played the demo and what your thoughts are on it. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Kirby demo. I hope that you'll join me again when I review the whole game when it comes out. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Please share with your friends and family if you think they'll be interested. I will see you in the next one. See you later.